Who are the UUs? In other words, whose biographies are on this channel? UU stands for Unitarian Universalist, and this channel also covers Unitarians and Universalists in history before the two groups merged in 1961. Here's a humorous flowchart that pigeonholes modern UUs. Question 1. How many gods do you want to worship? Answer, no more than one. Question 2. Are you content to leave well enough alone? Answer, no. Then you should be a Unitarian Universalist. Now, if UUs got in the show by just being good people or great ministers, this series would be much longer and even more boring. I hope these talks are inspirational but also entertaining. I look for the humorous, the dramatic, and whenever possible, the scandalous. UU is inclusive, and so am I. We'll see people who joined as adults and people raised UU who quit as adults. I try to admit when I've stretched to claim someone. Now, who are the UUs across space and time? Well, Christianity had Unitarians like Arius and Universalists like Origen since near the beginning. But their beliefs were voted down at the Council of Nicaea when the Roman Empire tried to standardize Christianity. They were then suppressed within the Roman Empire after 380 CE by the Emperor Theodosius and stamped out in the rest of Europe by 700 CE. But Unitarians and Universalists reappeared in the Reformation. Michael Servetus, Fausto Sozzini, and churches in Poland and Transylvania that continue today. There were two branches of Unitarianism, Socinian and Arian. Arians believed Jesus was God's first creation, but not God himself. Socinians believed Jesus was fully human. Socinianism spread from Poland to Britain and Ireland, where many dissenters and non-subscribing Presbyterians are Unitarians today. Eventually, it came from England to America. Meanwhile, some Puritans in Massachusetts adopted Arian Unitarianism. Arianism and Socinianism grew side by side, not comfortable with each other, nor with the Universalist churches growing in New England. But all three were already liberal religions inspired by the Enlightenment, the Age of Reason, more than by the Reformation, the Age of Faith. They all called themselves Christians, even if some of their neighbors disagreed. In fact, up to the 19th century, I only claim Christians as UUs. There are no old deists or humanists in the show. Many UUs today are inspired by them, but just because we like them doesn't prove they liked us. That changed by the 1840s with Ralph Waldo Emerson, Theodore Parker, and the Transcendentalists. They called themselves Unitarian, but they did not call themselves Christian. Once humanists and deists started walking through our doors, of course, I can claim them. Transcendentalism could have splintered American Unitarianism, but it didn't. It brought Arians and Socinians together. The movement was now based on how people agreed to behave, not on what they believed. The Socinians joined the American Unitarian Association that the Arians had founded, and Unitarians learned to live with inclusiveness. Universalists, too. In 1961, mostly for financial reasons, they merged into the Unitarian Universalist Association. We have grown ever more inclusive, explicitly recognizing pagan, humanist, and nature religion movements within UU. Canada's CUC began within the UUA, but it's now a separate entity. UUs remain mostly a British and North American phenomenon, but it is in other countries, notably India, Iceland, the Czech Republic, Australia, New Zealand, and the Philippines. True to its name, UU A to Z, or A to Z, will go letter by letter. We will use 6 categories per letter: government, education, agents of social change, arts and literature, science and technology, and people who left their mark specifically in religion. Within each category, we will go from oldest to youngest by birthday to get a sense of who lived when.